There we go. All right. No. And all right, we're almost there.
All right.
All right, and all right, I think we are ready, actually.
It's going on?
Huh?
You live streaming?
Yeah, we're good to go now.
All right, we're on the air?
We are on the air, yep. So let's get started. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things crypto-related, unknown, and paranormal. I'm your host, Parker, and welcome back to another live stream. I got a new little background set up right there. I don't know how long it'll last. It's kind of temporary right now. Just kind of clean out my room a bit. Found these little guys in the background over here. So I am also joined tonight by a special guest, as you can tell by the title. He's been on the show a couple of times before. So welcome back, Thomas. He read something about Bigfoot that he would like to share with us tonight. Isn't that right, Thomas?
Yeah, that's right, Parker.
Yep.
How you doing tonight?
What am I what?
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So, what did you find out about Bigfoot that you wanted to share? Because I know you said you were reading like a little like series of books written by like the same author and everything, and it's kind of like some new revelation about Bigfoot that you didn't like really, I guess, consider before.
Okay. For the longest time, I've strummed the notion that I told the story of, I told you that last time, I met the worst person I've ever met, said that Bigfoot are savage monsters, they will rip you apart as soon as look at you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I hated that idea, but I think part of me really just wanted this to be true, that if there was another intelligent species out there, could they be better than people, you know what I'm saying?
Like less violent in a way, or
Like, As in, they don't have that fault that humans have for endlessly deciding to murder each other kind of thing.
Right.
You were hoping maybe, just maybe, there's another intelligence species other that has something right, and that kind of gives you hope, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
after reading the contents of his book, it seems like they have just the same capacity as us to kill people.
So for the people at home who don't know, what book was it and who was the author?
It's W.H. Sheen, and he narrates his own books. You can find them on Audible right now, or Amazon. Either way, they're like 3 hours a piece. There's Bigfoot, Terror in the Woods, Volume 1 through 6.
Now, are they only available in audio, or can you buy like a physical copy?
You might. I really don't know. Most of the books I do on the subject are just audiobooks, except for like once in a blue moon I will buy a paperback.
Right. So I'll put a link to those in the description below then after this video. So if you guys want to check them out and possibly, like, I don't know, buy them, read them, feel free to do so.
Now look, most researchers are appalled at the idea of Bigfoot being a violent creature.
Right.
A lot of them don't even bring guns because they feel like it's benign. It's not going to hurt anyone. And it's weird because this behavior contradicts the reports of the more shy, elusive creature.
Exactly. Yeah, so, like...
It's weird because you have this as a contrast. For the most part, okay, yes, if Bigfoot killed every single person they saw, we would have no sightings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and how's it going,
That was
guys?
the issue I had with horror movies.
Right, so like
you know
like that one movie, I forgot what you said it was called, where like the Bigfoot's trying to like kill the campers or something. I forgot what that was.
Like horror movies, like if Bigfoot was a mindless monster that killed everyone on sight, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Horror movies always have that bullshit thing where like the Bigfoot's always trying to kill people, but how is Bigfoot a legend then if no one could live to tell the story?
So kind of like they kind of portray Bigfoot in those movies like the monsters, like in the picture that you sent me in a way. That I have that on screen right now for the audience to see. Now I don't know who drew that, so if you guys know, let me know so I can give credit for that. But
if what he's telling is true, they do have killer Sasquatch. Okay, I mentioned that there was always the rogue Sasquatch theory.
Mm-hmm.
That one of them will break the mold and go out and kill people.
So do you still believe that it could be a rogue Sasquatch, or do you believe that it could be a, just like...
If this is true, it's having me really rethink all of this. What I mean is, like, you think, oh, well, you shouldn't have anything to fear. Only 1 out of 100 would actually hurt a person. But what he said, okay, let me start off with what the books are about. According to him, these are submitted reports. He has I think he has a podcast or something, but this is his own collection of stories that people have allegedly submitted to him.
I'll take a look, see if I can find his podcast, and I'll link that below as well if I can find it.
Okay. If what I can tell is true, at least 8 people have found corpses in the woods in remote areas of people who had their rib cage. It looks like someone shook their fist and punched a hole in someone's rib cage. Parts of the bodies were pulled off and torn, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's nothing else in nature that could do this to a person.
Right. So, like, there's no way that, like, a bear could do that. Like, bear attacks look so much different than, like, what you're describing. Because, like, when a bear attacks somebody, they're just pretty much just, like, mauled to pieces.
Pretty much. This looks like something with immense strength, literally not tearing them apart so much as just, you know what I mean?
Just, like pretty much just leaving them intact, except with, like, a giant, like, gaping hole in them.
Sort of like that, like someone punched their rib cage in, sort of. That's what he had, at least 8 different accounts of this happening. And
these are all different, you said, right? So, like, different people, different...
Yeah, different parts of the country. So, this is the first time hearing of this. Which is weird. Okay, now, again, it's possible that this is not authentic. There are people who do make grandiose stories up.
Right.
Okay, another thing, one of the issues I have with the work is, like this. Okay, the way he describes everything, it sounds like his own words and not the words of an eyewitness.
Right.
Now, is it possible he's just taking what witnesses submitted him and putting it in his own words as an author?
I mean, that could definitely be part of the case, too. I know, like, some authors tend to do that.
Which it kind of does take away the individuality, because the way they all talk, it sounds like they're one person.
Right.
Like, they all say, instead of saying this creature, they all say, this beast, or that's a big, you know what I mean? The way they all describe things is, like, similar, so I'm guessing is that just him filling in blanks, or...
Right. I mean, like...
You have another author that does the same thing called Rusty Wilson's Bigfoot Campfire Stories series.
I've heard of Rusty Wilson. That name sounds very, very familiar.
That's another one whose authenticity needs to be checked, because he allegedly says he gets all of these stories from fly fishing clients, right? He's a fly fishing guide.
Yeah.
Now, what are the chances of all that happening? The chances of this being realistic are slim.
Right.
Especially the stories themselves sound like people who would never in a million years go fly fishing.
Like, oh, I took my 3-year-old fly fishing down by the lake, and he saw a Bigfoot standing across waving at him.
That's not what I meant, and that's not what I meant. I mean, he's a fly fishing guide, and he sits down and offers dinner to his clients, and people come forward with Bigfoot stories.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's saying, basically, and the thing is, a lot of these people don't sound like they'd be fly fishing, people in a million years.
Right, and, like, I mean, so I don't know, like, what a fly fishing guide would honestly be doing, just, like, sitting people down trying to get Bigfoot stories out of them either.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, they do sound like, okay, nothing impossible happens in the stories. I will say this.
Right, not like Bigfoot sprouted wings and, like, flew across the lake or something.
But stories generally point to Bigfoot as being a sentient creature that is mostly not a threat to people. In most of the stories, there's nothing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Typically, a couple of the stories are violent, and every now and then you get like a supernatural story from him, but for the most part, it's like the creatures are benign, which is the exact opposite of what W.A. Sheen is doing in his versions.
Right, so the Rusty guy, he's like saying that they're good, peaceful creatures, and then this other guy's saying that, hey, these things are violent, they'll tear you limb from limb.
Well, that's not it either. Okay, within their own story, within their own reports that they allege, there is a lot of variation. Not every story in his thing is violent encounters. I'm just saying it has a lot more than stories where, like the Bigfoot saw him up the hill, and it started charging at him, and then, you know what I mean, he took out his gun and he shot it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are a couple of stories where it's the case of the humans are the assholes instead of the Bigfoot, where the Bigfoot was just trying to run away and they shot at it, you know what I mean?
And just pretty much provoked it.
I'm not saying, okay, one thing that most of them have in common is it's hunters with guns, though.
Maybe they know what a gun is and they don't like seeing that, and that causes them to get pissed off.
And that's the thing, okay, I want to understand this. At first you want to say to yourself, what if they're all individuals like humans with different personalities?
Right.
But at the same time, it really puts a doubt on it by the sheer number of what he's claiming happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are they just peaceful until they're triggered and then they will react violently and rip you limb from limb? That's like,
right.
Is that their nature, kind of like a chimpanzee, or are they individual creatures? Some of them will rip you limb from limb, others will not try to hurt you at all. Like, I don't know.
Like, I remember.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, it really just tears apart the idea of what you could, you think you understand them, but it turns out they're so unpredictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of researchers I've talked to said their experiences are mostly positive experiences, but that doesn't add up to what he's saying then.
So, do you think that? So, maybe like some of the possibilities are maybe these are like encounters people have with like rogue Sasquatch, like you said earlier. The guy could have either made up these own stories by himself as well, or it could just be like another creature entirely.
Well, there's a possibility. I don't know anything about other cryptids, really, although people always say the Dogman is just a horrible monster, not really, worthy of... It does, at least in every one of his books, include one Dogman encounter. So he's aware of them, so... You know what I mean?
Right. So, but is he mostly a Bigfoot guy then as well?
Mostly Bigfoot.
Now,
and people in this story saying, one of the big things that got out is saying, it was 10 feet tall, it was 10 feet tall.
And did you say like some of like the alphas they're honestly pretty much like bigger than the regular sized one?
Another thing, what he's describing is the rate of 10 feet tall or more. That implies that maybe the 8-footers are just juveniles. That's what he's making it sound like. Like the idea that, you know what I mean?
Well, like if the 8 foot tall ones are juveniles, and then maybe like, I don't know, I think like the max size Bigfoot report was like 12 feet or something. Maybe like the 10-footers or something that these people are describing, maybe they could be like in their like late teens or something, or like transitioning like into adulthood, like the hormones and everything, kind of like humans do. Like, you know how human like teenagers, like they kind of go through like that angsty phase and like edgy phase and everything. Maybe that could be like the case with Bigfoot and everything too. Like they're trying to, like their hormones are all out of whack as they're kind of transitioning into adulthood, which causes them to become a little bit more angrier than normal.
Well, look, to try to determine the authenticity of this, I tracked it down his Facebook page, and he didn't answer.
How long ago did you contact them?
A couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I know, like, some authors, like, they get kind of busy. Maybe, did he even read your message at all, or is there a way you can tell that? Or?
I think he might have abandoned his Facebook page.
Really?
Don't know. I mean, like, it looks like he has a podcast or something, but you never know.
Right. If I can somehow maybe find his podcast, maybe he has like an email or something. I'll try to reach out to him or something.
I'm just saying, it's got me really thinking if this is accurate or not, because he has detail. Okay, it's not all of them are killer Bigfoot stories, you know what I mean? That's only a quarter of them.
Right.
Most are, it was seen, and then it was gone.
And that was pretty much the end of it right there.
Yeah. Some of them were interesting, like, there's one where they're watching, there's like 8 grizzly bears on the side of, you know what I mean?
Right. So,
there's 8 grizzly bears on the side of a river, and he said all of a sudden all of them turn at once, look, they see 2 Sasquatch emerge, 8 bears take off in the other direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
and he says like an interesting thing is like when grizzly bears eat salmon out of the creek, they leave the tails and heads behind, you know what I mean?
Hi Galaxy, how are you? And yeah.
He saw a pair of Sasquatch come out of there. Him and his friends saw that, and they would eat the leftovers the bears were leaving behind.
So would that imply that Bigfoot are scavengers as well?
Opportunists on every level.
Mm-hmm. So after reading this book, I know you said you had to kind of rethink everything a little bit. So do you believe that Bigfoot is a bit more dangerous than we once thought, or do you believe that like this was just like these are like special cases of just like rogue ones?
the frequency is disturbing now. And the historic frequency in which people say they found corpses that could probably have been killed by a Sasquatch, or reports in the story where he said they've shot Sasquatch that looked at humans like, motherfucker, I'm coming after you, you're out, you know what I mean? And they shot them, you know what I mean? It's like, that's several stories from there. It really makes you rethink the whole thing, like, are these benign creatures, or have we misunderstood them this whole time? Are they only peaceful when they don't feel threatened, and when they do feel threatened, they leap on you and just rip you limb from limb?
Now, and do you believe that, like, I don't know, in the stories that this guy has, do you believe that maybe, like, these Bigfoot could be, like, suffering from, like, some sort of, like, disease or illness, like rabies or something that causes them to kind of go, like, a little bit more berserk than, like, normal?
I don't know. I really don't. Again, aggression like this isn't uncommon in primates, though.
Right, like you said, chimpanzees, gorillas. Like, there was even that account of that one chimpanzee that ripped that woman's face off, like back in the 90s.
That famous thing, yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, like, honestly, apes are a lot more powerful than we actually give them credit for.
Well, some people, someone I talked to on other things said, pointing out he thinks that they might actually be inherently aggressive because some people know they hate humans because we're destroying their natural habitat, right? But he points to areas that have nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? Where there's no construction into their area, right?
Right.
And you have aggressive encounters happening in areas that have nothing to do with. So are they just naturally territorial? And if you cross too far into the territory, you will pay the price?
That honestly is a good theory too. I mean, so I feel like the big theories that we have, like, adding up for this right now are, like, not like that this guy made up the stories or anything, but I mean, like I'm saying, like, the three, like, Bigfoot theories are, like, the territorial one, diseased, alphas.
Or are these sentient creatures that, just like Homo sapiens, a lot of them have the capacity to be evil pieces of shit? Like, they know it's wrong what they're doing, and they're going to do it anyway.
Right. Oh, thanks for coming out, Lily. It was good seeing you.
Why? Wait, what?
Oh, one of the viewers said they had to go for the night, so I was just telling them thanks for coming out and everything.
Alright, well, okay, like, I lost what I was saying.
Right.
Do they actually enjoy killing people? Do some of them actually take pleasure in killing people? Is that the question?
Right. I mean, if that's the case, that would kind of remind me of, like, the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World that just goes around, like, killing for sport, like, just for the hell of it. So,
it's a big question. Are these is this animalistic killing where it's defending a territory, or is this just for pleasure, like it knows that human beings are easy targets, or is it hatred? Do they have people done enough to actually warrant the Sasquatch wanting to kill them?
Right, like, I mean, there's, like, so many, like, theories, like, people could come up with this, like, I mean, at this point, we don't know. It honestly could be anything.
If they're intelligent, or are they animals? We don't know.
Right, that's the thing that we don't know. So, I mean, because we've never actually captured a Bigfoot.
But then you hear stories about them rescuing people from bears, rescuing people from forest fires, and that's odd. You know what I mean?
And then you hear, like, the stories about, like people getting kidnapped by them, and they end up, like, and the Bigfoot takes care of them and all that too.
I know, and all, like, reports of, like, one guy got bitten by a snake and it actually rescued him by sucking up the point. All these stories like that. So, that leans more towards that they're intelligent creatures with a conscience. But then you have stories of them, like I said, ripping people apart. Like, so, is this just like, you know, they're all individuals, good guys and bad guys like us, or?
Right, and I mean, let me see. And, like, in the picture that you sent me, I'm looking at it right now. I have it up on the screen. I've had it up for, like, the audience to look at as well. I mean, do you think, like, it could be, like, like not just land, but do you think there could be like something that, like in these reports, that Bigfoot was, I don't know, trying to protect, that it didn't want people to find out? Like in this picture, it looks like there's like a girl like in the background just kind of sitting there, like that he was protecting her, and then these hunters came up and tried to start shit. So do you think it could be like protecting something that it doesn't want humans to see, or just
I don't know. Really, I don't know. Okay, the hardest part is, if these are intelligent creatures, they have never made any attempts to contact humans and share anything about them. Again, it's the most frustrating thing ever. It's kind of like trying to study dinosaurs.
Right.
For example, okay, we don't have a living specimen we can conduct research on. All we have is circumstantial evidence, like finding bones. Okay, with dinosaurs, we are having to rethink dinosaurs. Like, you know how they used to think they were big stupid lizards and shit, right?
Right, and I mean, like, the closest living relatives we have are birds, and that's, like, the closest we can get to studying them.
I know. They were warm-blooded, bird-like creatures that blur the line between birds and reptiles. So, again, everything we completely know about them is thrown into like, just thrown for a loop every time we make a new discovery. And this is the same thing with Sasquatch.
Right, and I mean, like, if we are to believe that Bigfoot is an ape-like creature, the closest thing that we have to study it are, like, the great apes that we have today, like gorillas, chimpanzees, and even people.
Again, but which one are they closer to? I mean...
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know.
It's so frustrating. I would like a solid, definitive answer.
Well, I mean, all we gotta do is capture Bigfoot, or capture a Bigfoot or something somewhere.
Now, we're going to talk a minute about, government conspiracy territory.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is one of the few conspiracy theories I believe.
Like that the government knows about Bigfoot and is kind of, like, covering up and...
Well, that takes me to the second part of... We might come back to the dark side of Bigfoot later, but let me discuss about another book series called Living Among Bigfoot by Tom Lyon.
Tom Lyon.
Familiar, doesn't it?
That name vaguely rings a bell, actually.
Okay, from what he's describing is the guy who moved out into the wilderness to get some peace and quiet, right?
Right.
And some weird things start happening around his property, right? He starts hearing sounds of, like, he sounds like a deer screaming, like something strangling it to death,
So is it kind of like Skinwalker Ranch in a way, or?
I guess so. I mean, like, no. When we talk about Skinwalker Ranch, what do you mean Skinwalker Ranch?
Okay.
Like, wait, what does that have to do with anything?
No. I meant, like, are the experiences he was kind of, like, experiencing kind of, like, similar to, like, what happened at Skinwalker Ranch and everything? I don't know. I kind of got a little sidetracked.
No. He's just he moves out to a little house in the middle of nowhere in the small town to get, for some peace of mind. And then some shit starts happening. Basically, he starts encountering aggressive Sasquatch in his area, kind of thing. And apparently, he meets two people who live in the middle of nowhere, who apparently are researchers, and that the government is watching them.
So, wait, is this like a true account then, or?
Allegedly true, but there's this, the disclaimer of, it's up to you to decide whether or not it's fact or fiction.
Oh, it's one of those kind of stories?
Kind of, where the author says it's real, but because of whatever, he has to label it as fiction.
Right. Which,
like, the whole idea is, he comes across two people who are claiming that the government, they were investigating Bigfoot on their own. The government found out about it, and the government is basically monitoring them to make sure they don't tell anyone or something like that. At the same time, conducting research for the government on the Sasquatch. And I can kind of see this happening. What do you think?
I can kind of see that happening as well, because, like, I mean, the government knows, like, a lot of things that they won't tell people, like, for instance, Area 51. By the way, that raid's coming up. Don't do it, guys. If you do, you're most likely going to get shot down. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Don't raid Area 51. But, the government does know, like, honestly, a lot more than they're letting on about certain issues and things happening.
Well, what he thinks is there are different levels of the government. There's the level of government that has no idea what's going on.
So that would pretty much be like... So the one that has no idea that this is going on, I'd probably say, like, that would just be, like, pretty much like the normal government, like Congress, the President, the House of Representatives.
Which are basically being pawns for, like, some elite secret group, basically. Not the Illuminati kind of shit, but, like, a faction of the government that keeps all the major secrets to themselves that they don't want the public or the lesser government officials to know about, you know what I mean?
Right, so, like, in a way, there's, like, somebody, like, higher than the president.
Yeah, there's the government, then there's the real government, like a small group of, individuals who have decided from early on that the public should not know certain need-to-know information.
Right. No, I mean, that does make sense, though. That would make sense.
And I don't know, when you go into that territory, you have all these, there's aliens in Area 51, the government did actually cause 9/11, etc., etc.
Right.
The moon landing. Okay, we're not going to go into all of those because that would take a million, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the big thing is the government is fully aware of the existence of Sasquatch. Now, what the government has entailed for Sasquatch, we don't know. The only thing that I'm pretty sure about is they know, and they're going to keep it secret.
Now, I know you don't really research, like, other creatures, really, except for Bigfoot, but do you believe that the government, has knowledge that, like, some other creatures, like, I don't know, like, some of the more famous ones, like Chupacabra, Mothman, just to name a few, are out there and that the government knows about them?
Well, the Mothman, I don't want to really go into tangents about the other ones, but Mothman, they had a bunch of people in black suits coming to investigate that.
Like the Men in Black and whatnot?
Pretty much. Now, that's just speculation right now, but, to what degree the government knows about, like I said, let's not go into the other conspiracy territory.
Right.
Now, he asked, why would the government not want the American public to know about the existence of Sasquatch? And there are a couple things that come to mind. One, mass hysteria.
I mean, I don't know if that would honestly cause mass hysteria. I mean, because, it's just, like, pretty much proving, like, the existence of, like, another, like, creature, other than humans. I mean, unless Bigfoot is, like, more, like, closely...
Understand this much. There are certain things the public is comfortable accepting and things they are not comfortable accepting. The idea of giant monsters roaming the wilderness is not a comforting thought to the public.
That is true. That is very, very true.
The public does not want that to exist.
So they're, like, trying to be like, okay, yeah, if they know about Bigfoot, there's going to be riots, there's going to be people freaking out.
Every idiot redneck with a gun is going to go out there. Let's go blast this little bitch, huh? You know what I mean?
Right, but all I know is now I want to be a government cryptid hunter.
Yeah, there's a monster out there. Let's go bag him and tag him. I'm gonna put his head on my wall.
I'm gonna keep him in my morgue in my basement that I made just for this day.
I'm gonna cut his leg off and use it as an umbrella stand.
and I'm gonna taxidermize the head, and I'll cut the coat off and make it a new rug.
Yeah, every idiot with a gun is just going to be out there trying to, just to bag a Bigfoot.
Yeah, it'll just be pretty much stereotypical America, like, at its best.
Yeah, I know. And another thing is, like, okay, revenue for the national parks brings over like $1 billion in tourism a year, like Yellowstone alone.
Right, and then like if people know that there's like some ape man running around in the woods like doing shit, people are gonna be like, oh no, yeah, they're like, oh, I don't want to go there.
It's not a myth anymore; it's reality, and no one likes that. No one wants this to exist. Certain people do. Are comfortable with this, but for the most part, the majority of the American population does not want Bigfoot to be real.
I did not honestly know that. I mean, I knew like there is, like, I don't know. I did not know that though. Like that, like a majority of U.S. citizens don't want Bigfoot to be real. But I mean, the more I think about it, and the more like that, and like the points that you made, they actually do make sense. So I can see that.
Like exactly, like. Not to mention, it would prove that there was a conspiracy all along was fact. The government was lying. And if they lied about this, what else are they lying about? It opens up a whole other can of worms.
And then, like, oh, they could actually, like, if they know about Bigfoot, they know about aliens. They know about, like, Bush doing 9/11. They know about all this stuff that they're not telling us. We can't trust the government. We need a riot. We need to take down the government to get these answers.
Exactly my point.
So pretty much, like, it would kind of, like, throw, like, the U.S., like, in pretty much, like, a state of, like, mass chaos.
Pretty much.
And heck, probably the world, too, because, like, because like the reports of like other similar ape-like creatures like all over the world, they'll be like, oh wait, if they have them, we have them too. Our government's hiding them from us, just like the U.S. was hiding it from their people. We gotta get to the bottom of this as well. So yeah, like it would just be nuts.
I don't know, and maybe there is some genuine concern to keep the species protected. I don't know. Or they would lose exclusive rights to do whatever the fuck they want with them.
Right, because you get like all like these like people like, oh, if we capture Bigfoot, we need to cut him open, study him, see how he works and everything. And there's people like, no, free him back in the woods. And then people like, oh, we want to keep him in the zoo so he can be like a proven species. People can come interact and look at him and all that jazz.
But like I'm saying, like there are people who claim they have transported Sasquatches in government vehicles. People who actually have government holding facilities where they've studied Bigfoot, etc., etc.
I mean, I can see that if they have like aliens and stuff allegedly. I mean, I can see them like having like Bigfoot as well as like other creatures like in their control. Like I can like in a way like I guess if they do have like all these creatures, I can kind of like compare it like to the SCP Foundation and the SCP games and all that.
SCP Foundation, you mean like the whole
like secure, contain, protect. They have like all these creatures and objects that like could cause harm to people, and like I can imagine it like kind of like that in a way. Like the government has like their own like cryptid zoo in a way, like where they keep these creatures. And heck, if that's the case, sign me right up. I'll be a government agent. I want to join that shit. I want to see these things.
All right, you have any questions right now, or?
So let me see. So, what about? Do you think, like, if the government knows about Bigfoot and they're hiding Bigfoot from the public, do you think that could mean, like, do you think it could be possible that, like, Bigfoot could be, like, the missing link between, like, human and apes and everything, and then that would pretty much, like, I don't know, like debunk like most religions in the world.
To answer your question on that, a lot of researchers I've talked to are Christian.
Really?
That surprised me the most. But of course, they're tying Bigfoot into their religious views, like I told you that last time. Like,
oh, like that one guy who said like that they didn't eat the apple and they're the chosen ones of God and all that.
Oh my God, no, not like that guy. If you believe a little more out there things like he's a Nephilim or it's some kind of biblical creature or it's just they think, okay, well, they can believe, it's easy to believe that they don't believe in evolution, you know what I mean? Christians don't believe in evolution, but they're going to think it's just a monkey, you know what I mean? Christians can believe in monkeys because monkeys are real. They don't believe that we're related to the monkeys, but they believe that the monkeys are real.
Right.
That's where we tie them in a being as Nephilim or something. If they're intelligent, that must mean they're Nephilim. If they're not, that means they're just monkeys. There's no such thing according to them, you know, as a human ape type creature. You know what I mean? Like it's human.
Right. And for the people out there that don't know what Nephilim is, it's pretty much the offspring of humans and angels allegedly, and they are like essentially just giants, like giant humans. Like the best way I can describe it is like people believe that Goliath and the tale of David and Goliath to actually be a Nephilim due to like his like huge size and tall stature. So they're essentially just really tall, strong, big humanoid creatures that are the offspring of angels and humans, allegedly.
Now, some of the Christian community who don't believe in Bigfoot, period, they might have something to say. If it was proven that Bigfoot was intelligent on the level of, say, Homo sapiens, then yes, the idea of a second intelligent species would throw a lot of religions into chaos.
But
well, I think the religious angle might be a bit less. That wouldn't really disturb too many religious people. It will disturb a couple of them, but that's not the biggest issue.
Right. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, like it's not like they could be like, oh, well, there's an intelligent species that's somewhat like almost as smart as humans, but not like exactly as smart as humans. So I mean, I can kind of see like where it'd be like some people would be like, oh my God, no, we're not the only ones, and then some people being like, yeah, they're not as smart as us. I mean, they're smart, but they're slightly dumber than we are.
Like a chimpanzee compared to a human. Well, it all depends on what they are, and I said we are still no closer to having concrete proof of what they are.
Right. No, and like you said earlier, like if there are reports of them like sucking snake venom out of like hikers' bites and everything, they gotta be pretty smart to know how to do that.
Or actually talking, like actually speaking in some kind of primitive language.
Right. So, I mean, I believe we discussed it before, but I mean, do you think they could be like some like offset subspecies of Neanderthal?
I really, really, 100% from the depths of my soul want to just take anyone who says Bigfoot is Neanderthal and slap the living shit out of them. Do you know I want to do that?
Do you?
Yes, I do. They have nothing in common with fucking Neanderthals. Neanderthal is the closest species to Homo sapien out of any human species. Most Homo sapiens have Neanderthal blood, at least the ones who live in Europe. The features that Europeans prize, the blonde hair, the fucking fair skin, the blue eyes, that comes from Homo sapiens interbreeding with Neanderthals. They're not a Bigfoot.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of uneducated morons saying that.
Right. No, I mean, I wasn't saying that. I was just asking your opinion on it.
And I want to silence that to anyone else who is actually watching this or listening. They're not Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm.
I get really pissed off about that. People, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing in common with Neanderthals. Maybe they are a quarter Neanderthal. Maybe they are a hybrid species. We don't know.
But I mean,
But
do you think that they could be like related to some like primitive ape species in a way?
hard to say. Again, I would really like to. Okay, one thing they have in their favor is for the most human species. Okay, most human species, until you get close to Neanderthals and us, looked more like great apes than they did men.
Really?
Yeah, most human species still had the jutting jaw, the sloping forehead, all of the things that we associate with great apes. It's not until within the past, the past how many, until the past, until the rise of Homo sapiens, do you have more traditional human-looking human species?
Right. Now, I remember you saying that you don't believe that Bigfoot is a surviving Gigantopithecus, but do you think it could be like a relative of the Gigantopithecus?
There's no evidence for that either.
That's true. I mean, we haven't caught a Bigfoot or anything yet, so.
Again, Gigantopithecus' closest living relatives are orangutans, as far as we can tell.
And I mean, from what I've gotten from like, I don't know, pictures and stuff and like descriptions, like Bigfoot doesn't really look like an orangutan. Well, I mean, except that one picture of the skunk ape, but I don't know about that one.
No, I don't think it's. I just don't think it's Gigantopithecus. I think that's just a half-assed theory that they are trying to pass off as fact without any actual solid proof.
Right. Now, I mean, I know there were some like other like I don't know like ancient ancestors of like different apes and everything too that maybe Bigfoot could be related to some of them or something like I mean like anything's really possible. I mean the world's a weird place, so I mean like I said, we don't know.
What, you want me to get back to what I was saying earlier or no?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just saying it really casts some doubt on whether or not. Now, they're not stupid. Okay, he has other reports, and okay, one of my favorites in his collection of stories is there's two guys watching, and they hear tree knocking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thud, thud, right? Now, they finally see it, and basically, okay, like there's a Bigfoot. Okay, there's a tree, a half-fallen tree, right? It looks like a hollow, rotting tree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they see the Bigfoot come out, and he starts tapping on it, like making the wood knocking in the tree, right?
Yeah, I know like a lot of ape species do that to try to find insects and logs and stuff.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, he starts tapping it, and after a few minutes of tapping it, he grabs it and grabs the whole thing and starts shaking it violently. Picks up like a whole tree. Out of it comes a possum. He grabs it and starts eating it, right?
Oh my god.
And then he does it again. There's another one coming out. Then it starts doing it with other trees. So that's suggesting that the wood knocking, in some cases, the tree knocking might not be communication so much as them hunting for animals in the trees. You know what I mean?
Right. Like it could be something else entirely.
Exactly.
And I mean, like, Bigfoot, like, they're big creatures, so I don't think, like, a massive creature like that would go after bugs. They go after something a bit more, like, bigger that can sustain them, like you said, like a possum.
I wouldn't say sustain them. They probably have to eat a lot of that, but, you know what I mean? I think it's like the endless, like, most of the time, it's an endless search for food, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Remember, kids, do your part. Leave a cheeseburger for McDonald's out in the woods for Bigfoot. He'll thank you later. But, actually, no, don't do that. That's littering. But, yeah, I mean, that is weird. Like, I know, like, most apes, like I said earlier, do that to tap for insects, but this one was doing it to try to get a possum.
Again, that does suggest heightened intelligence, but
And then
I'd like to know what...
then that means these things have to be like incredibly strong too. Like if it was able to lift up a tree and actually just like shake it like a fucking shake weight.
Again, the idea of them just killing people they see on sight doesn't sound intelligent to me. it sounds like a much more primitive response, like a chimpanzee has.
Which, I mean, could lead to the question, like, are there different species of Bigfoot?
I don't know. I've always said I doubted that. Like, it's kind of ridiculous to think that, well, this species is dangerous, but this species is friendly. You know what I mean? This subbeat group of Bigfoot are actually okay with humans. However, this other species of Bigfoot will kill you one day.
Right, but I mean, now, like, after, like, after you read these books and everything, it kind of makes you think a little bit. Like, something's definitely different here. Like, I know there's, like, different species of frogs and toads. Like, some are harmless, some are, like, deadly toxic, and if you mess with them, like, eat them or something, you'll essentially die. So, and, like, the different species of, like...
I don't want to bring it up, like, I mentioned earlier, but a lot of the time, again, a lot of what he's saying is it's hunters with guns that are found with this, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, is it the equivalent of, like here in Louisiana, we have a lot of snakes called cottonmouths, right?
Oh, yeah.
They have people who go out in their yard, and then they basically just, and the snake may or may not hurt you, but it has the potential to kill you, so remove the potential threat from the area. Are Bigfoot doing the same thing? They see a hunter with a gun, and they're just trying to protect themselves, like, you know what I mean, a preemptive strike?
So pretty much, if that's the case, then to them, we're essentially the cottonmouths.
Exactly, like, it's seeing a human that could one day, okay, if I turn my back, this human could shoot me, so I'm going to kill it now.
Before it has the chance to.
Is that what they're thinking, or I don't like humans, I will kill this, okay, like, or is it instinctive, like, I don't know. Are we instinctively provoking them on some level? In all the cases where we'll see one and it just walks away, we didn't provoke it on some level, or what? Well, I don't know.
You know what this kind of makes me think of? Like, how pretty much Bigfoot, there's been reports of them, like, oh, bless you if you sneezed, but there have been reports of, like, the Bigfoot, like, destroying trail cams and everything, like, maybe they know, like, hunters with, like, people with guns lead to trail cams being placed off, which places these signals that causes them to, like, their ears or something to hurt due to the high frequencies, or they could just be like, I don't know, like I said with, like, the trail cams and everything, like, how they don't like trail cams, maybe the guns are, like, doing something that the Bigfoot doesn't like, and they're pretty much trying to eliminate the guns from the equation.
Possibly, I mean, or there's another story. Then he says something else, like in one of his stories he says something like, like they're going on a thing, and I forgot what they call it, okay, like they're leaving their guns on what you call those the vehicles that hunters take out in the middle of,
oh, those ATVs?
So, like, they have a gun sheath on the side, right?
Right.
And he looks, and he said his gun was taken off of there, and then later on it comes back, and there's a pine cone stuck up the barrel of the gun. So, okay, does that mean, okay, and then they see a Bigfoot later on. Does that mean that Bigfoot, okay, like, is intelligent enough to know how this is a gun, and this is how to stop it? So that's the million question on how to proceed with these creatures. Is this a sentient being? I mean, a being, not an animal, a sentient being that 100% thinks and has the same emotions as Homo sapiens, can think and reason? Or is this just like a chimpanzee where it kind of has these things, but it gives an instinct and violence?
And that's the thing, we won't know until we ever capture one.
No, we won't.
No, we won't, but, I mean, like, we won't know until that happens, which we won't, so, I mean, I guess we'll never know. But, I guess Bigfoot just does not like guns.
Okay, like, it can recognize what a gun is, though. Okay, so people say that's a point in its favor. It recognized, it's self-aware of, it's not just,
like, it's like, holy shit, this is a gun, this can hurt me and possibly kill me. I need to do what I can to protect myself and my friends so they don't get hurt by this thing.
I know, but at the same time, yeah, okay, they have to understand how fragile a human is, though, right?
Right.
Okay, then it brings the bigger question of, if they are dangerous, what holds them back in most of the sightings? Well, there are sightings where they have torn open cabins and smashed property, but there are no report, but they did not try to actually physically harm the occupants. In sharing them out with Bigfoot, the story I told you, right? They did everything in their power to fuck up this little farming family's house, but they never laid hands on the people, specifically.
Well, I mean, that could be like pretty much, I don't know. Well, pretty much like in like those old, I don't know, like in some like those mobster movies, I guess, kind of like The Godfather or something. Like they send like people to the house, just like fuck up a bunch of shit, but not harm the people, and be like, hey, let this be a lesson to you. If you guys mess with us, it'll be more than your house getting messed up.
Is that what you? I mean, are they just trying to prove a point with with physical force, but no physical violence?
Yeah, like they're trying to be like, hey, next time it may not be your house, it may be you if you try to bother us again or mess with us.
But then, according to this book, they take the next step and they kill people who come here. I mean, who they feel are up to their territory. So, what am I to make of it? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, maybe they can kind of tell when somebody's a threat and when somebody is not a threat. Like, maybe they interpret people with guns like like they have the intent to kill, and like unarmed people, like they're like, these people are okay.
I don't know. There's just so many questions to answer, and we don't have. We're not closer to anything.
We're really not. No, it's actually kind of it's kind of sad. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Bigfoot research has kind of been like at a standstill for a little while. We kind of just need something to kind of pick it up a bit, I guess.
Well, that also ties into the government conspiracy theories, where someone has the damning evidence and they are silenced before they could, make it to the public, right? Like,
right, and then there's like the government agents like that. You've seen reports of like that, like on their deathbed confessed the government's like hiding aliens. You're all being lied to and all that shit. But I mean, like it's like a deathbed confession. Like I mean, you can't really like go off of those like a solid hardcore evidence,
And then one of this that situation, but I think it could happen. Like, there's a stupid show called The Spoils of Babylon, right?
That I've heard of it. I just haven't seen it yet. I'll check it out if it's good. Is it good? Would you recommend it?
It's stupid funny, but like, okay, like the guy comes into the oil company saying he's got a steam-powered engine, right?
Yeah.
And two shadowy figures take him on a ride for the car, saying, "Who else did you tell about this?" Oh, there was my brother. They cut the guy bleeding from his, he got shut down, right? There was my father. And they go, "Oh yeah, there was the guy in the hotel didn't believe me." They cut the him down the front desk. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the big secret, we'll kill. Okay, if you don't be quiet, we'll kill your whole family. And you can get away with it. We'll just say, oh, there was a gas leak or something.
Right, or like, it was the robbers or something, or just some basic generic cover-up story. But I mean, like, yeah, I definitely do feel like the government knows more about, like, not just aliens or not just Bigfoot, but like more about things than they're letting on. I mean, like, that's always been like something that they always kind of have been. Like, they know more about like things that they're not like that they don't want the public to know about. Like, I mean, in the JFK files, like that just got like those all got leaked like honestly like a year or two ago. So, and that was because Donald Trump pushed it out. But I mean, like that was something that was kept from the public because the government didn't want people to know about like all the details about that. Now it's all out in the open thanks to Trump. But I mean, that does show that the government is like willing to like omit information and hide details from people.
Wait. You have any more questions right now?
For right now, so honestly, in your opinion, though, what do you think is making these Bigfoots attack people? Like if it's like some like natural factor like disease or territorial aggression or something like that. What do you believe that it could be? Like if you just had a like basic guess.
Well, I guess if we're dealing with an intelligent creature, I would say we've done nothing to earn Bigfoot's love. We've basically shot at them, wrecked their shit, basically. You know what I mean?
Pretty much destroyed their ecosystem.
So it's possible, like we've built up a prejudice that they have against us. Or maybe they're just assholes in general, like humans are just assholes.
Like, get off my lawn, kid, and then it just punches you through your chest, rips your rib cage open.
Like, you know what I mean? How I'm white, I don't like black people, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Right, like
they're just racist without anything happening. They hate different people. They hate humans for just the sake of hating them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that a possibility? I don't know. Again, depends if we're dealing with an animal or a person. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
just like humans, they have the same capacity for irrational hatred.
Right. And I believe that's been like seen like in like known apes as well, like some like apes that like can't be like around people, and and pretty much like that's kind of like with some animals in general. Like some animals are genuinely okay with people, and then there's like animals that just like have like some bad experience with people, and they just genuinely hate all people.
Like I think even elephants can do that, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, and then you've seen like those like TV shows like the rogue elephants and everything that pretty much like destroy villages and stuff, and like even on that Disney cartoon Legend of Tarzan series there even was like a rogue elephant depicted that was like just destroying everything as well. So I mean like rogue animals, I mean they're pretty popular like in the media and everything. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, the Indominus Rex, that elephant from the Legend of Tarzan, and just all these other creatures like that go rogue. It's just rogue animals and the nature are pretty popular in like media and nowadays.
Like that's another thing is like, okay, do you know what the anthropomorphizing something is?
Right. So like pretty much like making a dog like into like a humanoid dog. So like essentially kind of like a furry.
Oh, it doesn't necessarily mean appearance. It can also mean like we are giving human qualities to something that might not have human qualities.
Oh, right. Like you read like in the like pretty much like personification, like you read in a book or something, like making like a skunk talk like a human or something.
Oh no, not that either.
No, not
okay,
that.
Here's an example. Like, okay, you know, in colonial times, they tried to put, you know what I mean, they tried to explain it. They crudely explained animal behavior with human traits. Here's an example. Whenever a predator makes a kill, right, it looks around, back and forth, right?
Right.
To make, okay, now what it looks on the area before it eats its prey, right?
Right.
Okay, now in the colonial times, they had this belief that the animal was conscious and aware that it had committed moral sin by killing another creature, and it felt guilty.
Well, in reality,
we now know that carnivores, in reality, are checking to see if anything else is coming to try to take their food from them.
Right. I mean, so back in like colonial days, they believe like, oh my God, I committed a murder. I got to make sure nobody was around to see this.
Now we know the animal is just making sure that nothing is coming to steal its prey.
Right. Like you see, like cheetahs, like before they just kind of like look around, like, are there any lions nearby? Are there any hyenas that are going to come take my food?
So yeah, exactly. It's anthropomorphic. We gave a human characteristic to try to explain something. Are we doing the same with Bigfoot? Are we trying to make them too human when we try to explain their actions?
That is a really good point, actually.
Or are these creatures that have entirely different natures apart from man? Is this creature that is completely different, like what we are attributing to, its behavior is human-like, could mean actually something completely different to Bigfoot?
And then again, that's the thing, we just don't know.
No, we don't.
And most likely, I don't know, we never will. I mean, like, until, like, we capture Bigfoot, which, like you said, most likely won't be, like, pretty much impossible, or, like, in the case, won't be, like, anytime soon.
We're doing the joke. Hey, I have a corpse of Bigfoot. Government, let's have a seat and let's talk.
Can you bring that corpse in the dark alleyway behind the bar?
Wait, what?
Can you bring that corpse of Bigfoot in the dark alleyway behind the bar? We just want to check it out just to make sure.
You hear gunshots, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, and then the government agent's just like, oh my God, there was a shooting in the alleyway, and all the people come, the criminal got away, but we managed to see everything.
There you go. That's exactly what probably happens whenever someone brings in a Bigfoot corpse. You know what I mean? He's taken care of. He is quietly removed. He is never seen again.
And then you get like those fake corpses, you know, like the one that was like in that cooler for a while, and it just turned out to be like a costume stuffed with meat.
Hey, all right. Do you have any more questions right now?
Not that I can think of right now. If there are any, like, for the viewers that are watching right now, I mean, I know it's not many because it's kind of late at night and everything, and it's like during the middle of the week still. So, for the people that are watching at home right now, do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask Thomas right now about Bigfoot being dangerous or anything? So, I'll just give them just a minute, just let them type out their thoughts and everything, see if anybody has any questions for you.
Well, do you have any personal questions right now?
Well, for me, do you think... Let me see. Try to think of how to phrase this. So, after reading this book, like after reading these books and everything, do you believe that Bigfoot is more dangerous than we once thought, or do you believe like that it's still like how you used to believe it?
Again, some things are thrown into doubt because of this. I did think of the idea that, okay, it is a little bit hard to, you know what I mean, to want to search for Bigfoot now after hearing this because, again, you think it's benign. I don't need to take a firearm. It's not going to hurt me. But apparently, if this is true, you'd advise everyone who's interested in researching Bigfoot to take a firearm with them on the off chance that this one might attack you. I'm not saying you can't study dangerous animals. There are people who people who specialize in big cats, great white sharks, crocodiles. I'm just saying.
And then, like, there's the people that had, like, big cats as pets, which, I mean, you guys should never do that. That's dangerous and stupid as all hell. But, I mean...
After reading this, I would say don't dumbly believe the notion that this is an animal that is completely safe to be around. Take at least... Okay, that's the only thing that they are afraid of. The only thing that can hurt them, I think, is firearms. I'm not encouraging people to go out and blast Bigfoot. I'm just saying take safety precautions.
Just in case one were to, like, go rogue and kind of.
Like, one of them sees you, and instead of running away, it comes right at you. You have a few seconds before it, like I said, collapses your rib cage or whatever. Okay, and there are people who probably could listen to this and say, you're demonizing these creatures. I'm not. I want to believe more than anything that they aren't a threat to people. I want to say that, but I can't ignore possible evidence that suggests that they are dangerous. At least some of them are dangerous. Some of them are willing to cross the line and kill you.
Right, and I mean, like with most animals, like some people like, oh, this animal's safe, this is a good animal right here, and then the next thing you know, like somebody else enters its territory that's not familiar with and just pretty much destroys them.
And again, it all depends on whether or not these are animals or men.
Right.
Are these just another great ape that, through pure coincidence, walks like a man? Because people have said, dispel the illusion that this is a man. It is an animal, pure and simple. That's what a lot of people have said. Other people have said the opposite and said they felt it to its eyes and they felt it was self-aware. Again, there are no straight answers. I'm just saying.
Now, I know I asked this before, but it's been a while since I asked it, and honestly, if I'm being honest here, I just forgot your answer. What is your opinion on the Patterson-Gimlin footage? Do you believe that to be a real evidence of Bigfoot, or do you believe that to be a hoax?
I believe it's real.
I do too. Because I remember, did you see the Monster Quest like trying to recreate it and they couldn't?
No, they couldn't.
They couldn't, no.
Again, I kind of like discussion of the Patterson-Gimlin footage has been done to death.
Right.
I know it's the most important piece of evidence, but I'd like to give credence to lesser known pieces of evidence.
Right. And I mean, if that, and like, I believe it's real, you believe it's real, and if that is like indeed like a real Bigfoot right there, then that Bigfoot didn't attack the hikers that filmed that footage. So I mean, there, like you said, like there could be some bad Bigfoot, there could be some good Bigfoot. I mean, kind of like the same with like people.
All right, I have his name right here. Okay, wait, what we were talking about earlier. Okay, we have his name is W.J. Sheen, but his real name is William J. Sheen. If anyone can get in contact with him, I'd encourage it, okay, because I really would like to know the authenticity of these books, whether or not he's making up stories about Bigfoot that he claims are viewer submitted, or are these viewer submitted stories that just happen to have, repetitive elements.
Yeah, that's a good challenge for everybody. If you guys can, try to get in contact with W.J. Sheen. I mean, but don't harass the guy. Don't be like a dick if you manage to get a hold of him. Don't spam his emails. Just like send like a.
No, I don't want to.
Huh?
Anyone who's actually watching this, and I don't want them doing this either. I don't want to demonize this person. Not at all, because he could be telling the truth. If he's just a huckster that is just fabricating stories to get attention, then by all means, if you can uncover that, by all means, tear that to pieces. But if he's actually just an innocent person trying to report stories, then
Yeah, just do like just be like good base. Just be good people, guys. Just like don't do anything to this guy that you wouldn't want done to you. Don't harass him. Don't spam his email if he doesn't reply right away. But that's a challenge for everybody. If you guys can get in contact with WJ Sheen, please let me know and we can discuss it in another video. I'll actually try to get in contact with WJ Sheen myself, and maybe if he gets in contact with me, I can maybe, I don't know, see if he would like to appear on the show.
It's not Sheen, it's Sheehan. Sheen. Sheen.
SH. Could you spell that again? I'm actually gonna look this man up on my phone right now. So you said WJ.
William J. Period S. Capital S H E E H A N.
William J. Sheehan.
Chin.
Um,
Alright. Okay. Before I go, I have one more challenge to your viewers, and I really hope that one of them could come up with an answer for this one. Okay. There is a lost piece of media I really would like someone to recover for me.
all right. What media is that?
Okay. Are you aware of a network called Chiller?
The TV network?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's pretty much like, I think it's owned by the same people that own Sci-Fi, but they just show horror movies.
Okay. Well, they had a few reality shows back in the day when I was a teenager.
Right.
And one of them was about teens talking about their paranormal experience on camera. Right?
Like teenagers and all that?
Young adults or whatever you want to call them, okay? And on this, they had an episode where a school teacher actually had some of his, okay, he was a Bigfoot who likes to go out and look for Bigfoot in his spare time, got a bunch of his students to go out into the woods with him. They filmed it, and according to that, okay, and apparently they started doing calls. 2 hours later, they said they heard something following them all the way back to to leave the area. They said they felt something was watching them. It was following them. They would see out of the corner of their eyes something moving, and they said they got the presence that they weren't welcome. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Do you know the name of the show by chance?
No, I have no idea what it was. Okay, it happened. I was staying late at my cousin's house one night, and he'd gone to bed, and I was just like browsing, watching his TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what year would you say this is around? I'm gonna try to look up the show if I can find it.
Maybe 2009-ish, 2010, somewhere around that ballpark. I think it was like maybe 13 or 14, or maybe a little younger. I can't remember.
Let me see. List of programs from Chiller. Was it called Fear is Real?
I don't know. I've tried looking into it. I cannot get a solid answer, so I'd like to see if anyone else could dig up some dirt on this. Okay, the description I gave you, and use the time frame, and see if anyone can come up with something in it. You know what I mean?
Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to figure this out here because
But you don't have to do it now. I'm just saying, that's the challenge I'd like to give people, anyone who's interested, is if you come up with a legit answer for this. I cannot find the show anywhere. It might have been the imported program, too. I know they did a lot of that.
I did find a list of programs that Chiller Chiller had. I can send you a list to it it's on the wiki if you want to take a look at that. Maybe that could.
I looked at the list before and I never came up with anything. I'm asking people where I have failed to see if they can succeed.
Chiller reality show. Teens share stories. Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Do you remember if they had accents or anything or?
It's a bunch of kids. They're in a fucking van. They're getting this blasting calls on it. Basically, I don't remember the show itself though.
Oh no! Oh, fuck! This is gonna bother me now because that honestly sounds. Oh fucking. Oh, that's gonna bother me now.
Oh, I try to find this.
Bone chillers. Reaction. Discovery, Los Angeles. Ugh, this is gonna bother me now.
Don't do what I did, because I tried to obsess over finding this and I couldn't come up with anything.
Okay, it may be on here. So you said it was just pretty much like a bunch of teens in a van.
Let's say professor going to look for Bigfoot.
Wait, was it Bigfoot in like specific? Was the show like pretty much about like the teens looking for Bigfoot?
No, that wasn't a show. That was one of the skits. Okay, it was one of the things on the show. Each thing has different things. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh wait. So, what was the main like thing about the show? Was it like I don't know, like teenagers like
It was something late at night, and I think the premise was because I think I saw a snippet of the show earlier. You know what I mean? I have no idea what the name was. You know what I mean? It's one of those obscure things I saw when I was younger, and I'd like to know what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know there was this TV show that I used to watch when I was younger. Like, it's the only one that I can remember that has like teenagers in it, and it's called Mystery Hunters.
No, nothing like that. I mean, there was like interviews from actual teenagers about their paranormal experiences. And hell, it might not have even been wholly teenagers, but the two times I saw what I think it was the same show, it was teenagers.
Let me see. Teen Share Paranormal Stories. Okay.
Okay, look, before we close everything up, do you have anything else you want to, like, do you have any questions?
So, honestly, not that I can think of, but it wasn't, Are You Afraid of the Dark, was it?
No. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm pretty sure that was, no, that wasn't a reality show, that was pure fiction.
Right. So I don't know. It sounds really familiar. I do kind of vaguely remember something like that. Now I don't know what that is. Now, so yeah, if anybody can help with that, figuring that out, we both honestly greatly appreciate that. And if we find it, if we find it, and if I find it online, I'll do a review of the show, and whoever found the show first gets a shout out, and honestly is like welcome to come on the show and like talk about it with me as well. So kind of a little contest right there. Whoever can find the show first.
I really want to answer this question. Like, okay, it's kind of like reminds me of that story where someone saw a bizarre cartoon when they were a child, right?
Right.
And for how many years they were asking, "Did I imagine seeing that?"
Right. Like have you heard of Clockman?
Yeah, the thing with the wizard or whatever.
Yeah, like the Nickelodeon thing.
Yeah, and it was on a Lost with it Blame It on George did that?
Yeah, I love Blame It on George. George, if you somehow are watching this video, shout out to you, man.
This is one of the things I'm talking about. I saw it when I was younger. I'd like to know. Okay, whatever this is, you know what I mean?
It's just like one of those obscure lost media type of things.
And again, it's satisfying when you finally see it after. And like, you know what I mean? You know, it validates, you know what I mean?
Right, like there were some TV shows that like I watched when I was younger, and I'm like, oh, and like every time I ask somebody about it, they're like, yeah, no, I don't remember that show at like fucking all, and then I find it online, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is real. I wasn't making this shit up, or I wasn't dreaming about this. It was a real TV show. So no, I hope we find this show because it's no, now that you described the show to me, it's gonna bother me. Like people in a van taking calls.
No, they call blasted.
They what? Oh, they call blasted like from a van in the woods to try to get Bigfoot.
I remember it was a high school teacher who believes in Bigfoot who got a couple of his students to go with him in the woods. They set up their van, and the van had speakers, and they were doing call blasting of Bigfoot. 3 hours later, they started hearing noises and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So again, I want to know what. Again, they said it was following them. They said it wasn't welcome, you know, and they weren't feeling welcome. I would like to know what the hell this was.
I'm seeing if I can find. I'm no, I'm like since honestly it sounds um like no, it sounds really specific. So I'm like, hey, maybe we could find like at least the teacher like or something.
I looked into it as much as humanly possible, and I can't find shit.
Do you remember what the teacher looked like at all by any chance? Like any describable like features at all?
I think I remember one of the kids was black and bald, and the teacher was a regular scry looking white guy.
Did he have like a beard or?
I don't know. I was like, how old? Like 13 when I saw this or some shit.
Okay, so like yeah, it's been a while then, but I mean, okay, so yeah, this is yeah, it's I mean, it sounds like it would be easy to find because I mean, like what high school teacher takes his students out in the woods to go hunt for Bigfoot, right? But I mean, it's I don't know, it's the show itself sounds familiar. Was it like so it was like a TV show, it wasn't like a one-off documentary, it was like an actual like series.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, look. Each of it was like 10-minute snippets of, interviews, I'm guessing, of people, right? It was interviews of teenagers. Each of them were snippets. It looks like the camera quality was like, you know what I mean, indoor kind of regular shit, like, you know, you'd have for an interview kind of thing.
Right.
That's the best I can give you. I really don't know. I don't have any, you know what I mean?
Right. And then just one more question about the show. Do you remember if the TV show had a host? Like, or at all?
I don't think it had a host. I think it was just the kids, you know, I mean, going off about what happened.
Alright, so no host. Bald black kid, scrawny ass white teacher.
I don't know, okay? That's the best I can give you on this. Like, I can't really give anything solid.
Alright, so, again, guys, first person to figure out what this show was and get into contact with me about what the show is so I can tell Thomas and I can verify if this is the show or not. You guys are you will be allowed a guest star on one of my episodes that I'm going to be doing. We can talk about the show, we can review the show, or we can just talk about something else entirely differently, whatever you want. But whoever finds the show first can guest star on my show. or if multiple people find it at once, I can do a group call with multiple people as well. But yeah, if you guys know the show and find it to me and are the first person to send it to me, you get to be a guest star in the show. So kind of a little challenge for you guys if you guys are able to give you guys a little bit of initiative to help find this TV show. And you said it was on Chiller, right? Like one night.
It was late at night. Check whatever aired maybe during that time, like 2 o'clock in the morning kind of shit. Like, we would always stay up late, you know.
Right, but it was Chiller, like the TV station then.
Yeah, it was Chiller.
Okay, so whatever aired like during like early 2000s, 2 a.m. kind of around the time slot.
Like, I'd say late 2000s. I was a teenager, but then.
Okay, late 2000s, early 2010 era. Just
Anywhere from 2009 to maybe 2010 to 2008. I don't really remember.
right. So I'd say start at 2008 and then just kind of work your way up. Try to figure out what the show is because like I looked it up. It sounds so familiar, but if anybody out there finds that show, you get to be a guest star on my show. So just a little initiative if you guys want to come on the show. J. Tem says, was it Strange Days at Blake Halsey High?
No, it wasn't fiction.
Okay.
Stress it over and over again. It wasn't fiction. It was at least attempting to be reality, a reality show about teens reporting their paranormal experiences, like on an interview style kind of thing. Except in this, they actually show the footage of the kids going to the woods. Whether or not that was a recreation, I don't know. But it was not, you know what I mean, a fictionalized TV series, as far as I can tell.
But I mean, for what it was worth, though, Strange Days at Blake Halsey High, I watched a few episodes of it when I was younger, and I have to say that was not a bad TV show.
Okay, whether or not that was a good or bad TV show, it's not really relevant. I mean, like...
Right. And then J-Tem also suggested a show called My Ghost Story. That sounds familiar. I don't know what that's about. Oh, wait, no, actually, yes, I have. It's kind of like a branch off of Celebrity Ghost Story, so I don't know. I don't feel like that would be it.
It would have to be off of Chiller. It would have to be during the mid-2000s to late 2000s to early 20, whatever.
All right, so let me see. So I'm going to just type it on my alt account. Let me see that I'm pretty much just watching this. So late 2000, so like 2008 to 2010, basically.
Or hell, the show could have been on there for a while, but they kept putting the running time till like later nights. You know what I mean?
All right, so on my alt account that I have this going just to make sure for quality control issues, I put it has to be in the mid 2008 to 2010 late night and Chiller, so it's sometime during that time frame. So the show does sound familiar. Teens reporting their paranormal experiences. I don't know what it is. Obviously, you don't know what it is either, Thomas, so I hope one of our viewers can find this TV show. Because, I don't know. Now that you mention it, though, it's going to bother me now because I do have vague memories of a TV show where teens report their experiences.
Alright, before we close out, any more questions?
So let's see. Honestly, not that I can think of, but I mean, like, if anything else comes up or anything relating to Bigfoot, or just if you want to come on the show again sometime, you're honestly free to do so whenever. Just let me know, shoot me a text.
Hey, I will definitely come back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, because...
Like I'm saying, like, you can start making a playlist for this, you know what I mean? My conversations with, insert my name, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could do like a Bigfoot playlist, and I can put you in like the Bigfoot playlist as well, because I only have like one Bigfoot video I did on like with myself, so I could just make like a specific Bigfoot playlist for you and everything. And I could do like a guest star playlist, put your videos in a guest star as well, so I can have like in a couple different playlists so people can find them easier. And yeah, I can definitely work something out after we end off here.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, so if you just let me know whenever you want to come back on again, because pretty much like I'm free like pretty much like most nights and everything. So unless I have like schoolwork, I'll just let you know ahead of time if I have like to do a paper or something for school. So but yeah, for the most part, I'm free at nights. So just shoot me a message. And
like same here, unless it's like I have to get up early in the morning. I should be able to.
Right, and I mean same here too. But I mean like I go to bed late anyway at night, so I mean it's whatever for me. But yeah, thanks for coming on today. It was like really interesting, honestly, because I mean like there's just these two like differentiating reports that Bigfoot's a killer, Bigfoot's peaceful. We don't know which one it is. So I'm going to ask the people watching at home right now, what do you think? I want to hear from you guys. Do you believe that Bigfoot is a killer, or do you believe that Bigfoot's peaceful, or do you think it could be like somewhere like in between, like it only kills like when it needs to, or it's just peaceful when it needs to be peaceful? So I'd like to hear from you guys at home. Let me and Thomas know what you think in the comments section below. And yeah, thanks for coming out, Thomas. This was a good stream.
It's no problem, man. I hope to be back on sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. Just shoot me a message and we can have you on like whenever you want to come back.
All right, let's maybe in a month or two.
Yeah, that sounds good. Kind of like do research for about a month and then come back and we can share the research that we did and everything. So
yeah, that sounds like no problem.
Yeah, that's definitely doable. So let's do that then.
All right, well, it was good talking to you. I hope to see you later.
Good talking to you too, man. Thanks for coming on the stream. I hope you have a good night.
All right, you too.
You too. Bye, man.
Bye.
So guys, that was Thomas. I hope you guys enjoyed having him on the stream. He's definitely welcome back here on the stream. So Thomas, thank you again for coming out and sharing this about Bigfoot possibly being a savage killer, kind of like he's depicted in this art right here. So it's kind of weird, like a lot of people believe that Bigfoot to be peaceful. Well, honestly, not like that. That thing, he's just cute and chubby. Bigfoot is not really cute and chubby, but I mean, a lot of people believe Bigfoot to be peaceful, and then there's like the people that believe Bigfoot to be a killer. So it's just really cool to hear like different points of view about that. So thank you again, Thomas, for coming out. And I don't know if this, I don't know if this will be the stream for the week or if this will just be like a bonus stream. I'll decide tomorrow, just kind of depending, but we'll get it figured out. So I may do another stream tomorrow. If not, I'll save it for the next week. But either way, we got a good stream in today, guys. There will be a new cryptid rating up this week. I don't know what to do it on yet, so I'll have to do a little research, figure out which one I want to do it on, and we'll get that out. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming out today and watching Cryptocast. It was kind of like a last minute sort of stream kind of thing, but it was really fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave that like. Be sure to hit that like button, or if you dislike it, you can dislike it. But I heard if you dislike it, Bigfoot will come and he'll rip your big toe off. And if you don't want Bigfoot to rip your big toe off, the only way to ward Bigfoot off is to hit that like button. And yeah, if you guys have any stream suggestions for me, contact me in my social media in the link in the description below, which I will put after this video. And the books mentioned in this video will be put in the comment section below. And again, guys, try to get in contact with JW Sheehan. Again, don't harass him. Don't do anything to him. Don't do anything to him that you wouldn't want done to you. Don't harass him and stuff. Just be nice people about it. Just try to get in contact with him. See what he says. I'll be trying to get in contact with him too, seeing if he may want to come on the show at some point, talk about this, and yeah, help us find that show, guys. Teens, recounting their paranormal experiences and stuff like that. It's now that he mentioned it, I remember it and it's bothering me because I don't know what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Help us find that video. Get in contact with WJ Sheehan for us. Again, don't harass them, guys. And I'll put links for all that stuff in the description below. Links for my social media as well. Give me suggestions for stream ideas, or if you have some fan art you would like put on the wall in the back. I gladly accept all fan art, and when I put it up on the wall, you'll get a shout out at since you made the art for me. So if you guys want to shout out and want to have some fan art, just let me know, and just send it to me, and I'll put it on the wall in the back. So we really only had like 3 people watching tonight because I mean it's a busy night. Like during the middle of the week, honestly, last day before school, like day before Friday, a lot of people have stuff to do. So I thank you for all 3 people who came out today. 4 people: Lily Senpai, Tia Gem, Rena Galaxy, and J-Tem. Thank you guys so much for coming out again. And another special thank you to Thomas for coming out and sharing this info with us. It was great to have you back, man, and I hope to have you again in the future. So I hope you guys have a great, safe week. I may be back tomorrow. I may not. I don't know if I'll count this as a stream for the week or not. I might do another one tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. So, with that being said, you've been watching Cryptocast. I've been your host, Parker. Stay spooky, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.